Hello friends, my name is Jake Montanez and this is my self-publishing blog where I'm talking about all the various things that I've done while trying to get my story published. And in today's video I wanted to talk about Vocal Media. Alright, Vocal Media is a website that you can sign up for free that they can host your stories. And when I was originally getting back into writing, and you can probably see that if you look at when I uploaded most of my stories, they were 2 to 3 years ago. These are places that I wanted to share my stories, and there is a little bit of a kickback from these guys. They can pay you some money for views. I have no following, so I've made no money. The most money I've made is because I participated in a couple of short story writing contests, and they said thank you and gave me like 10 or 15 bucks for them. So it wasn't really much. Everything else is basically uh, the pennies per view type of a deal. So the more people that read your stories, the better off you get. Thought it would be a good way to start making money. Obviously, I didn't follow through with adding more things, and like everything else, you need to promote it yourself. If you're not promoting your stories don't get pushed by whatever algorithm that they have. And I think it's more of you need to direct people to these stories so that they will read them, and that will be something I have to do later on down the line. So clicking on here, it's Vocal Media. You can find me by searching for my name, Jacob Montanez, and this is what you're seeing. I've got a couple of pin stories up here at top. You can see right here is Lightblessed. This was the original, the OG Lightblessed that I wrote back in 2021, I believe, for NaNoWriMo. And if you click on this, this is just random stock image I found on probably Pixabay or something like that. Did no changes to it whatsoever. Threw it in as my cover image. And then I've got up here's my epigraph, a little bit of world building stuff, which is actually reasonably unchanged at this point. And then I've got my story, and this is chapter 1. I think I did maybe 2 or 3 chapters on here. You can see it's kind of long, and yeah, this is a rough draft of the novel I wrote for NaNoWriMo. The original is uploaded to Royal Road, and soon, if you want to read the entire original version of it that I've turned into a trilogy, that is over on Royal Road. But that's not going to be up there for very long. I'm going to take that down. I'm going to take down what I currently have for Night of the Illumination so that they're no longer available there as I transition to fully publishing the edited and updated version of the story. So that was the rough draft. Then there's going to be Night of the Illumination, which is the second draft of the same story, but if you read them, they're very much different and going in different directions. So I wanted to show that to you. And then otherwise, there's just a bunch of random short stories. I did have something about writing that I basically used from my YouTube channel, and it was a transcript. I just copy pasted the transcript and threw it on there. What the heck ever. How to use Midjourney back when I was getting really interested in AI artwork. I've long since stopped using Midjourney because I couldn't afford the money, and also because my own personal stance is on using AI generation for anything other than a reference to provide actual artists has shifted, because I'll admit straight away I wanted to use AI covers to use my books. That is very much a big no-no in the self-publishing world, so I said, okay, I'm no longer going to directly support this, only indirectly by using it to provide for the cover art to do their thing and give me sketches and work in progress along the way. And the rest of it were just silly little things. Some of these stories were contests that they have on Vocal Media. I mean, you have to subscribe to Vocal Media to participate in the contest, but you don't need to subscribe to their platform in order to actually post stories. I wanted to make that clear, unless they've changed it in the last 2 or 3 years. And that may also impact whether or not you get paid. I don't honestly remember. But I wanted to have a place to just throw random stories. Other than the contests that I was submitting stories to, I also used a lot of writing prompts in order to come up with some of the story ideas. And when I wrote them, I threw them on there. My original foray into writing and getting something published online after I retired from the Navy was to go through writing prompts. And that's a good place to start. I will always like to say that if you're a beginning author and you want to learn how to write stories, find a writing prompt book that gives you random idea, random concept, whatever you want it to be. You can create a story from something, right? You need that little spark, and go with it from there. And that's what I did here. I was like, okay, I want these stories, need a place to share them, and started sharing them. When I came up with these ones, I had a couple of them that I kind of want to blow these ones up later on. Carol's Price, Carol's Daughter, and I'm brain dumping what the third one was. I may not have even written it, to be completely honest. Carol's Locket. Those three were all tied together in their own little series. I think this was the first one, and then the other one's kind of built out from there. But it was kind of a post-apocalyptic story that I thought was really cool. I'm probably going to get around to rewriting that one. This other one, Fire Soul, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one was a fun one because the other thing that I started doing when I came back into writing, and it actually was probably the thing that kickstarted me back in, was a Facebook group that I had, that some of my buddies from the Navy were working on, and I got invited to the group because they knew I liked writing. And it was a group story. Each of us kind of wrote a portion of the story and contributed to it. And in doing so, the story kind of grew from there. And each of us kind of took on a persona and wrote a chapter of one of the characters. And eventually I went back and rewrote a lot of it myself because everybody kind of gave up. I don't know if I intimidated them or they just said, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. But either way, I rewrote a bunch of it. It was really fun, but I'm probably just going to leave that as an interesting little project we have. That's going to probably remain on Royal Road as a demonstration of the stuff that I've written. And it's also here on Vocal Media. Okay, there's a bunch of stats over here. They talk about all the different reads that you've got, how much money you've made from each of those. My biggest one was Midjourney AI. It's earned me 28 cents. And I think overall I've made $1.53. So it's not really a big moneymaker unless you're pushing your stories, your short stories out in various other locations. They're not, if readers aren't searching for your stuff on Vocal itself, you have to lead them there. So eventually I'm going to do my website and link a few of these stories and send people here from there to have free things for them to read, a backlog of some stories that I have written, and drive this earnings up a little bit, as well as not cost anything for anybody to read my stories. The wallet here, this is full transparency. Your current balance is $33.53. And this has been a very slow buildup over time because, as you can see, I made a penny in July, a penny in April, a penny in March. It doesn't build up very fast unless you're sending people here. The biggest boosts, honestly, were here for taking part in their summer fiction series, writing different short stories based off of the writing prompts that they gave. And some of those stories reflected here with the amount of money I made off of those. And then the first 10 stories got me $10. The first 5 stories themselves gave $5, and liking other stories on the platform gave me $5. So contributing to a couple of things provided some additional money. I don't know if they still have those kind of incentives. Like I said, it's been a few years since I started doing this work, but I think it's kind of worthwhile to at least be able to get your stories out onto a platform for people to read. So if that's interesting to you and you find it useful, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and drop any comments on places where you like to share your stories, because I'd like to check those out as well at some point while I'm trying to get this taken care of. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.